Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the fragrance Brooklyn from Gallivant Scents, and I'm really excited about this brand and this house, and I was really excited to get my paws on Brooklyn. So if you'd like to know what I think of this fragrance and a little bit more about the house and brand, then keep watching. As always, I am going to be transparent with you at all times. Uncommon Finds, which is a kind of a niche perfumery boutique in Tampa, and Nick from Gallivant Scents reached out to me and asked me if I would want to try their brand, and I had actually really been interested in it. I'd seen a bunch of other reviewers on YouTube and a bunch of people in the fragrance community talk about this, and I was kind of, sad that I didn't have an opportunity to get my nose on it. And when they reached out, I was like, yes, I'd love to try. So they sent me samples of all of them, and I got to pick out the one that I liked the most, and that's the one I'm going to review for you guys. Today I'm reviewing is Brooklyn. Now again, as you guys don't know, this is your first time tuning in, I just dyed my hair blue, so my fingers are blue. It's just what happens. I'm also a painter and I'm working on commissions, so directly after filming this video I'm literally going to jump back in the studio and work on a big commission I'm working on, so I don't really worry too much about my fingertips being blue. I'm very sorry if it turns you off. In the next week or two it'll go away. But let's talk about Brooklyn. Okay, real quick, I'm not going to go too much into the house and the history of this house. I just really like the idea that it's like traveling. It's supposed to transport you into the areas. There's Istanbul, there's Tel Aviv, there's London, and there's Brooklyn. And I love the packaging. As you can see, it's kind of a map of the city where it's from. See if I can open this for you guys. And the other thing that I noticed that I thought was really cool is these bottles only come in one size. As I try to open this, I'm so sorry. These bottles are teeny tiny little guys. Yeah, look at how cute it is. These are 30 ml bottles, and they're actually designed to be 30 ml bottles. It's kind of described as being like a nomandish like bottle that you can throw in your bag and take with you and travel and be travel friendly. So the entire kind of like, I don't want to say theme because it sounds like it's gimmicky, but kind of like the heart and soul of this brand is about traveling and discovering new places, and they wanted to kind of keep that tradition alive and that theme alive with their bottles. And I love the idea that they have these little bottles that you could throw in your bag or to take with you when you travel about, and that they're travel friendly. So I thought that was really really cool. Anyway, this is Brooklyn. It's so cute. I love it. Oh, it's such a good fragrance. Now some people like this one, some people like the other ones a lot more. I find a lot of people have been leaning a lot towards Tel Aviv and Istanbul, and I love those so much. But the reason why this one really captured me is because it's such a beautiful citrus scent, but it does kind of tell a story on your skin, which I really like. So let's get into the notes. Before I get into the notes, if you guys want to know a little bit more about Gallivant Scents, Sebastian from Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews kind of had to sit down and chat with him. I'm going to link that video below. It's a fantastic video to watch, to check out if you want to know more about this brand and the history behind it and the kind of the inspiration behind the entire thing. So the top notes of this is it's kind of like a really just blast of citrus in the opening. The opening of this is bergamot, lemon juice, orange juice, incense, cardamom, and ozonic notes. I don't know what that is. I think it's probably some of a chord to kind of make you think of atmosphere. Heart notes are magnolia and orris root, and you guys know I really enjoy orris root and magnolias. And the base notes are whitewoods, benzoin, amber, and musks. So this kind of plays two ways on my skin. The opening is a really bright, very sweet, juicy citrus fragrance. It's very refreshing, it's very powerful. And then as it warms up on your skin, it becomes a little bit more resinous, a little less juicy citrus, more of kind of like a crisp citrus. And then you get the beautiful warmth of the amber and the nice hits of the woods in there as well. The orris kind of like rounds everything out, and I really like the incense in this as well. So the longevity on this fragrance on my skin and my environment, as you guys know, I live in South Florida. If you didn't know, I always like to mention where I live when I do these reviews, because my environment and when I'm reviewing you guys longevity and projection, it does play a huge part in how the fragrances last on my skin. I usually hope for 4 to 6 hours for my fragrances. That's what I usually really aim for. Citrus fragrances, if they're more of the 4 to 5, I'm ecstatic. If they're more of the heavier, kind of like oody, woody, syrupy, more gourmand-esque fragrances, I kind of hope more for 6 to 8, but 4 to 6 is the going rate. Considering this is a citrus fragrance, this actually lasts about 6 to 8 hours on my skin, which is pretty phenomenal. But do understand that the citrus notes go away after about 2 hours. This does have a scent store, and if you guys don't know what that is, it's just my silly little way of talking about how a fragrance develops on my skin. Sometimes something's very linear. It starts off very strong, but all the notes are there, and the top notes might go away, but it kind of remains the same and just gets softer and softer and weaker the longer you wear it. This isn't a fragrance like that, which I think is really, really cool. It kind of takes you on a journey. It's almost like you're going on a little tourist trip through Brooklyn. Now, I've been to Brooklyn once, and it was, over a decade ago, and I stayed there for a week, and it was really cool. I really enjoyed staying there. I really loved, taking the subway and going into the city, but I really enjoyed Brooklyn, like where we stayed, and just the people in that area were phenomenal, like just phenomenal. And I haven't been back. I haven't been to New York in like almost 10 years. So I can't say too much with any authority that this reminds me of Brooklyn. But as a scent, as a fragrance, it does kind of take me on like a tourist trip through a kind of like an urban area. I can definitely get that feeling from it. Living in a downtown city, I kind of get a little bit of that vibe, just a little bit. So this opens up very juicy and citrusy on the skin, which is fantastic. It is beautiful in heat and humidity, and it just kind of reminds you of a hot day. You walk outside, the asphalt is hot, everything is hot, but it's like still pleasant, like you're just kind of like blind, hiding your eyes from the sun, and everything is sunny and bright and cheerful and really awesome. And then as you wear it, it kind of, again, like the citrus juice part of it goes away. So I'd say the orange juice and the lemon juice notes go away. The bergamot is still there. It stays crisp and slightly creamy. A crisp and creamy citrus that blends really nicely with the cardamom and the incense, which does give this a little bit of complexity. Now, as it wears more on your skin, you get the warmth of the amber, you get a little bit of the musk, and the orris root comes out, and it's really, really nice. I do love the woody warmth and bright crispness that this plays on my skin the entire time that I wear it, and the hair is trying to go in my mouth, I'm sorry. And overall, just this is a generally very positive fragrance to wear. I do want to say, though, that if you smell this in the opening, and you're expecting it to be citrus the entire time you wear this, it is not. Absolutely. This fragrance lasts about, like I said, 6 to 8 hours on my skin. Only about an hour, maybe 2 hours, is where I get a predominantly sweet citrus fragrance. The primary life of this fragrance to me is more of like a woody, ambery, incensey, resinous, but still bright and crisp fragrance. And I like the fact that it does develop differently on my skin. It just doesn't say a beautiful citrus fragrance. It kind of like, again, takes you on a tour of the city, or this is like a tour. You go see different things. There's different landmarks to experience with this fragrance. I like that this fragrance is an experience, but it's also very wearable and easy to understand. Before, I'm not going to go into the other fragrances because they all are different, extremely different. And none of these fragrances, to me, work well with each other. And I think that that's kind of cool. A lot of times if you're looking at fragrances from a line, they all kind of work together and the same. And that's not what this is supposed to be. This is supposed to be kind of like almost like a stamp on your passport, taking you someplace else. Completely different feeling with each of these fragrances. Istanbul is very spice. It's like a spice market. It's really sexy, and there's something really exotic about it. Tel Aviv, there's something very, like, there's a clarity about it. It's sweet and clean, but there's just something about it that's kind of like hidden underground that's really mysterious, and it's a really beautiful scent. And I love, like, the leather in London. It's such an unapologetic leather fragrance while still being very effervescent and a little bit refined. So all of these fragrances are fantastic. Again, I'm going to be reviewing all of them, but I really did love the journey that Brooklyn took me on more than the others, which is why I wanted to get a bottle of this and review this first. Now let's talk about, we already talked about longevity again. 6 to 8 hours is fantastic. The projection on this kind of differs too. Actually, when you first put it on your skin, at least this is what I get, the citrus is very loud. It's way past arm's length. It's not overpowering. It's a very nice, kind of easy to wear citrus fragrance. But it's definitely something that doesn't sit close to the skin. After about an hour or two, this kind of like comes back and becomes a very intimate fragrance. So while it's resinous and woody and crisp, as soon as the juicy notes go away, it becomes a very intimate fragrance, and it's not even arm's length. I'd say you maybe get elbow, maybe get elbow. So I would say that I kind of like how that performs as well, because when you get into really loud, ambery, resinous, woodsy notes sometimes those can be so loud and so heavy that they kind of take away from the beauty of the fragrance. I actually really like fragrances that are more warm and woody and comforting to sit closer to the skin. It's kind of like a fragrance just for me. But this does have a bit of projection to it, especially in the opening. So I do like that it kind of has two different things going for it. The part of this that projects is way easier to understand than the part of it that sits closer to the skin, even though it is a citrus and it is loud. I do think that this fragrance is also work or professional appropriate, because the parts of it that I think people might not like the incense, and the cardamom, and the woods, and maybe the amber and the musk, are the parts that sit closer to the skin, and the citruses are what's louder, and people understand citruses and can deal with citruses a lot better than maybe amber and musk. So I do think this is a fragrance that you could easily wear to the office, to class, to the theater, or if you're going for an interview and you're unsure of if the person likes fragrances or not, but you still want to make a really nice impression and smell good, this is a great fragrance to invest. 30 mils, it's $95. So I definitely think this is worth the price. As you guys know, whenever I work at all with any company or shop or store, I require them to let me be honest, which means if I thought it was overpriced or there's something I didn't like it, they have to agree that I'm allowed to say that before they send me a bottle. And they were both Uncommon Finds, the shop that sent this to me, and Nick from Gallivant Scent were more than enthusiastic and completely okay with me being honest. And I am not being honest. I'm being quite truthful. I think this is a great fragrance. I think this is a great house. I really enjoyed every single one of the fragrances that I tried. A humongous thank you to Nick from Gallivant Scent and Uncommon Finds for sending me this bottle of fragrance to review. I'm going to link Uncommon Finds below. They are a kind of like specialty niche boutique fragrance store in Tampa. I was really excited to see somebody from Florida, but still it's so far away, but I love going to Tampa. So next time I go to Tampa, I'm definitely going to go there. I go to Tampa maybe once every few years, so it's coming up. I need to come there. I need to go there soon, so they're definitely going to be getting a visit from me. So I'll link them below. Definitely check them out. Again, a huge thank you to them for sending me these fragrances. Again, this just because they sent it to me, this video was not at all influenced by them. This is my own thoughts, and I hope that you trust that. But I know that that is up for you guys to decide and not for me to tell you. But again, thank you guys so much. I hope you liked this review. I'm excited to bring you a review of the other fragrances as well. And as always, guys, if you like my fragrance reviews and my fragrance videos, remember to give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing videos like this. And also don't forget to subscribe, because it's free and I'm free. And I put out new videos every Monday through Friday, and sometimes on the weekends as well. So I'll always have something for you to watch. In any case, I hope you guys are all happy and healthy and have a great day, month, year, whatever. And I'll see you next time. Bye!